So 6 months ago, we went ahead and decided that we're not going to have any specialty coffees. Invest that money into a brokerage account and also teach Jill kind of how to get started with this. So this is kind of going to be our 6-month update video. I have something on the computer that Jill has not seen before, so this is her general reaction to it. And I wanted to put it up there just to see what she would think of what this thing is. What do you think of it? So do you remember the old Stretch Armstrong toys?
Yeah.
So this is very similar to what that toy is. And I brought it out today just because I wanted to see what she would do with it without her even having any idea of what it was. So do you know what this actually is though? Like what it is?
Like what this character is?
Yeah. Any idea?
Is it an NFT of some sort?
Very close.
I didn't actually know that, but I based on what I know of Cody.
So it is a... Do you want me to tell you what it is?
I want you to tell me what it is while I hold him.
Okay, so she's gonna play with that. So you find it cute. It's interesting.
He is cute.
Okay, so it's a Pudgy Penguin.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah, because I've told you about it. So it's an NFT project that has become very successful. They make toys, and they came out with this toy, and people are driving it, like putting it under cars and letting it squish and making fun little cute things. So
why would you run him over? Look at his little beak.
I know. So very cute. I wanted to bring that out. You can keep playing with it, Jill. We're gonna go ahead and get on with the episode because it's gonna be a big one today because there's a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff in the last 2 weeks. We're gonna kind of go over some other things. But I guess I'll start with me since Jill's a little preoccupied with playing with this toy that I brought out. So what I wanna go over is all the trades that I had last week. I've done quite a few. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with in order what I did. So we went to Vegas again for the World Series of Poker. For me, did not go very well, but during that week, I bought more Tesla during that week.
More Tesla?
So I bought more Tesla. I think I bought it about $193 a share. So I added on to Tesla, and we'll go over Tesla here in a minute, but hence the hat. And then the next thing that I did was I actually sold a little bit, about a third of my biggest gainer, which was LSF. I sold it for, I think it was a little over 100% since I bought it. So I'm down to now 25 shares. I sold 12 shares and I rotated those shares. So the portion that I sold, I put that into more Bitcoin. So Jill is definitely enjoying this toy. So that's kind of what I did last week. This week, for the new buys on Tuesday, I actually went with a brand new one, which I doubt you'll be able to guess.
Then don't make me try.
All right, so the new one that I bought is Gitlab.
Yep, wouldn't have guessed
So
that.
she would have had no clue, but as far as technology, AI is going, I think it's an interesting play. I've always kind of liked the name, historically wise, and it's not performing that well right now just because of the infrastructure that they're building out. So it's the name that I kind of went with. I'm gonna give it probably at least a year on that one. So we'll see how that goes. I also, because it's a new month, I actually use my double shot immediately as well. So that fourth one is actually in addition to an old one that I see in 2025 maybe improving as far as just infrastructure wise. I'm very curious. Also, one of my friends rode on a subway. He knows who he is, and it made me think of the company again, at least the entire sector. So I added on to Joby. So they do electric vertical and takeoff and landing cars. So it's whoop, fly and then you land. So you can go from like Manhattan to JFK in like 5 minutes versus dealing through traffic and everything. I don't know if the 5 minutes is exact, but that's kind of what I did this week and last week. So it's now on to Jill.
All right. I did not buy a Pudgy Penguin, but I have inherited one.
I'm gonna interrupt her. Do you know how much the cheapest Pudgy Penguin NFT is as of yesterday?
The actual NFT, not this guy.
Correct.
I'm gonna say $684,000.
That's a lot. No, it's $37,000. But continue.
Okay. So last week when we were in Vegas, I bought more of the buckle.
More buckle.
It's
because you went shopping.
It is. So I don't know if we mentioned it on camera, but we were both upset when our buckle at the Scottsdale shopping center that we go to, our closest buckle closed down. So we went there and we actually really Yeah, we really like the Buckle. I like them for their jeans. Cody likes them for their sweaters that he always gets compliments on. But they're gone. Just gone. Like, why? Why? Anyway, so I went to Vegas, and my friend lives there. So we were outside of the Strip, and we went to downtown Summerlin, and there was a Buckle. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to go to the Buckle because I need my Buckle fix. So that triggered me, of course, into being like, oh yeah, because my mind works differently now, right? I'm like, oh, I have to do my weekly thing, and I just made sure I went to the Buckle. So
she was looking at stocks during a movie this morning.
it's true.
So.
And it was a movie I really wanted to see too. And I was surfing stocks. Anyway, so I bought the Buckle last week. Since then, because I double checked, because their week, they're actually a little bit down, but according to my history, I can actually see like what my stocks were, or what my shares were fulfilled at. Did I say that right?
I think, yes.
My shares were fulfilled at.
Filled, but fulfilled is the same thing.
And I am up a tiny bit, because I had to look at, because I already had it before. So I wanted to know just when I re-upped, did it go up since then? So I bought it at 35 something, and it's like at 36 something technically right now. So technically in the week since I did that, it was a good move. This week, I didn't do anything extra or fancy.
Just the normal.
Just the normal $50, but I did do something different because I bought 2 things. That's allowed, right?
Yeah.
I bought $25.
You can buy 4
Okay.
things if you want, 5 things.
Because we've never really done that. So this week I decided during our movie, I was surfing stocks. And he, of course, looks over at what I'm doing. So he did see what I was searching. And just some comments that he made me torn. So I was looking at Burgerfi, which is BFI, and I've actually never heard of it as a restaurant. Like, I don't even know what it is. But it always, based on my search history of like things that I'm clearly interested in or looking up, it always presents it to me. And I like the name, right? Like, that's a cool name, Burgerfi.
It is.
So I always look at it, and he's asking, he's like, what made you look at that? Because he has his own reasons for wondering. And I was like, I really just like the name, and it's always suggested to me, and it's an interesting name. So I always just peek at it, but I never do anything with it. And then he said something about maybe bankruptcy, and I don't know what to do with that information. Like, bankruptcy sounds super bad to me, but I don't know, just listening to him talk, I'm like, well, now I'm just torn. So I decided to split my 50 and go 25. So I did buy $25 of Burgerfi. But I also, what I was thinking of before he got in my head was that they're not at like all-time high. Like, I was looking primarily at companies' 5-year graph when I was looking. So I liked that their 5-year graph, like, they aren't.
Was absolutely
It was
the
atrocious.
ugliest thing possible.
Right, but like, if you look at a company over the last 5 years that's basically at all-time highs, do I feel confident that that's not their all-time high and it's gonna go even higher? So like, I was really just focusing on the 5-year, like their long plan.
Interesting.
Or their long history.
And what did you split the other by between?
Any guesses?
No. None. Abercrombie. No.
No. I went with my typical, again though I did look at the 5-year graph, but I went with my typical, like what season is it? What's happening in the world? You know, like, oh, I think travel's gonna be good, whatever. It's summer, so kids are on summer break. And what did I do every summer break? Because I was in school and my dad was a teacher, so essentially in school. We went to Disney World every summer.
So you bought Disney, what I sold and I will never buy again.
I did. But I liked their 5-year graph. And I think people are gonna go to Disney, even though Star Wars is awful. I hate Star Wars in general.
She's never seen Star Wars, so.
I don't like the premise. And I will never watch it. I mean, I can't say never, because someone could pay me $1 million and I'd watch it. But I think regardless of that, I think people in general are still thinking it's summer vacation and I'm going to Disney. So.
All right. So Burgerfi and Disney.
25 and 25.
And we're gonna go over really briefly the top performer and the worst performer in each other. So my best performer is oddly LSF, which is the mushroom company. They do like the little coffee thing. So again, I sold a little bit of that, took some gains and put it into Bitcoin. And then my worst performer.
Are you just talking about the week or like
No, overall for
in your
the
portfolio?
the entire 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, so since we've been doing this.
Okay.
Tesla used to be my worst performer. Tesla was
not
down
anymore.
45% on the year at one point, and now Tesla, for both of us, is green.
It's true.
So Tesla's almost went actually green on the year after being down. I think it was down to like 100. It did exactly what we mentioned on this show, actually, which is kind of amazing that Tesla, we kept buying it earlier on the year. I said it would probably hit 150. It would go, it would hit 150. It would go below 150 to 138, and then it would bounce. And literally that's like the exact thing that happened. And you remember this because I said it and it's recorded, but I think $138 was the absolute dead low on Tesla this year. So it's kind of crazy that happened.
What did you think?
Huh?
What price?
$138. And it was like 138.12 or something. Very, very close. It's not going to be
Very
accurate
close.
when you look at it on there.
I was gonna say it says 140.
It was 100, it hit 138 like pre-market or after hours one of those days. And yeah, so it's been not a penny lower, so which is kind of crazy. My worst performer, we got off a side note there, but I think my worst performer on the year now is, I actually didn't even write it down, so I don't know. I'll put
That's
it on.
why you should have your phone.
I'll put it on the list. My phone is my memory. But your best performer is Sprouts, and your worst performer is now Nike.
Oh, well, if you already knew that, I don't know why I looked it up. But my second best performer is Tesla. That's crazy.
It's not
I
that,
didn't realize
not that
that.
far-fetched. Wait till it hits $1,000 a share again in the next probably like 5 years. So that would be my guess. Because there was an interesting thing, I guess, with Tesla is the day that I test drove it and then I drove it home. I think the stock pre-split was, I don't remember, like $400, $300, and I made a tweet on the drive home after we got my first one that the stock was going to go to $5,000, and it did. Like, I don't know, a year later, 6 months later, and then it's done, I think, 2 splits since then. So overall, again, we've started with, $50 a week, coffee money. But I'll go over our totals. Currently, I am at $1,769.13, which is now positive on the year, 4.07%. Jill is at $1,857.44.
I'm still waiting.
She's up 12.57% on the year. I am making up some ground, though.
You
I
are.
was negative.
You're getting, I don't like it close.
I was down to like negative 12, 13%, I think it's one
We
point.
don't like it.
So I think she's fallen in love with the Pudgy Penguin. So maybe we'll leave it on this. I'm definitely going to put it in the background from now on, but I can see how much of a distraction it might be if I leave it on the desk for her.
Are you saying I'm squirrely?
So I think that about covers it. If you guys have any questions or if you watch us on YouTube, definitely give us a follow there. If you watch us on X, go ahead and like the video if you do enjoy them. That way we continue doing them. And we will be back next week with another update and maybe another Pudgy Penguin. I have no idea. But that'll be it for this week.
High five!
Oh my God.